Hey folks, welcome to another recording of a prior day set of days CSS daily targets. These are from October 23rd, 24th, and 25th of 2023. Let's get to it. All right, what do we got here? I'm doing my blank template. I'm not sure actually. I kind of have a weird feeling about this one. What if this is several elements? What does it look like to do this as multiple elements? And one of them is a little different. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our 5 elements. And then this middle one is a little different. But to start with, what I would like to do is do a display. I think I want to do a display grid. Display grid, and then grid template columns, 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. I know it's kind of verbose code, but I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it today. Let's see what that looks like. How about 20? 20 is the height. No, more like 40. We get the height right first. Let's see what we got. I guess we are obliged to not have a margin on that. 20, 21, 22, 23, or more. 24, 25. And okay, so here's the thing I'm thinking. I'm thinking with a gap, I'm going to use a scale on this middle element, which means that I can have all of these elements be the same size as the initial design, and then use scale with a scale origin of 50% so that it scales consistently outward. We are going to find out whether this is a good idea or not. So let's do 0 auto. Actually, we do 10 margin of. Well, let's set a width and get the width right before we do anything else. I know that we've got the 3 things there. Are they 50 wide? Okay, so this is where we're starting. And if I set a margin on those, then you can see them all. All right, so what I would like to do is get a consistent number of them. So let's do 1FR, 1FR. No, we don't want to do that yet. All right, how about a margin of 50? See, so this is already going a little wrong. But what do I want to do here? Maybe what I want to do is, instead of that, do display flex and flex wrap, and then a gap. So let's do a bunch more of these. And then flex wrap. Did I say do gap? Maybe I'm not totally well yet. Flex. All right, so we'll do gap. 50 pixels. Where does that get us? And let's make sure that our margins are 0 for ourselves here. Okay. So what numbers do we need to do here? I feel inclined to do justify content. So this is all very verbose, a lot of code, line items. Lots of code. Code. All right. Okay, so we're set up. I feel like we're set up for success here, right? Set a background on the body. We've got a lot of what we want. So in this case, we've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this case, the middle one would be the, what, the 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call that B. And that B one, let's do a scale. And do scale 2. Oh, that's great. That's exactly what I was envisioning. That it would be that simple to make that modification. However, we do have this problem of these extra guys. So we are kind of obliged to do something for them as well, which is maybe setting margins on them. So let's do that. So if we set, so let's do it on the, if we delete the last one, and then that's centered. Okay, so that solves our problem for the last one, just that, but we are centered. So what if on the last one we set an X attribute? We say X. And let's do something very visible. We'll do border inline 10 pixels solid red. Okay? So that's super visible for us. But that also would make it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if we put that on the first one, and then we eliminated the next two, and then we just say, what do we do? Margin 0.90. Would that do it? Yeah. So then margins are what's keeping these placed in the way that we want. Now, if we do that, if we don't justify the content, there's that problem. So let's, if we increase these numbers, do we get what we want? 6, 97, 98. I think we do. So there it is. Okay, and then if we really eliminate the aligned item center, do we get what we want? Yes, we do. That's great. That gap is fine. The background is fine. Flex and flex wrap we need, and that's it. So this is a different approach, a very different approach from what I usually do, but shows you the power of that scale and how simple that is, right? The other way to say that is transform scale to 2, and we're doubling it again, but obviously scale 2 is a lot cleaner. All right, we're done with that guy. Let's unit replace. I don't think we have any units to speak of that will reduce, submit, and let's see if we've got 100%. Hopefully we do. I believe we do. Well, it's lots of so that's a nicer score than I've got in the past. All right, that's enough on that guy. Super fun way to approach him. So today we got another one of these fellas, which is a rotated square. So again, I'm going to use aspect ratio 1 so that I can adjust the width of him at will. Rotate is 45 degrees, and then we're going to do display flex so that we can center it. And actually, can we do align self center? What's that code? I don't know it. I don't know if I have offhand, and that's not fair. So let's let's do display flex, align items, center, and justify content, center. And then let's do a background that's appropriate. And then let's do a border. I don't know what that is, but 40 pixels, solid of that red color. There it is. So the border's too big and the item's too small. Oh, no, it's too 90, 91, 90. Oh, maybe that's 30 pixels. Okay. All right, that's okay. All right, so let's decide how we're going to do these stripes in the background. It's got to be on the background on the body. Linear gradient of, well, it's coming in from 90 degrees. It's orange and then red. And then let's rub that to the top corner and put a width on it. 200 pixels. 200 pixels and then 100% height. And then a no repeat. Let's see if we can create that background in a way that makes sense. 300, 280, 275. Okay. So if we've got that, can we use percentages? 80%, 0. So that would be too wide. How about 90? So I'm doing the stripe sort of backwards, so I can use 80, and then 0, and then 70%, 80%. How about 70, 76, 77, 78. Okay. That's what we've got now. So let's do that same thing again. Clear out these numbers. Set a 0 here. And then set a number here. 78, 68. 0. Another stripe. And then we need that color again. 0, 58%. Don't forget your commas. And then we're going to need red again. So we got, how many stripes do we have? We have 8, 2, 3. So we've got everything that we need there. 48%. Okay, so that's 3 stripes. Let's adjust the numbers to get them right. 7, 6, 0.5, 45.5, 46, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, something like that. 0.5, 7, 6, and then what's this number? 0.5, about 67.5. So that's we're in the close area, but we're not done. I don't believe. Let's submit. Let's see if we've got. If this is 100%, I will eat my hat. That would be very surprising and shocking. It's 99.7%. So no, we're not there. So what do we need to change? This has got some alarming diffs here, which are not great. So what is that, 140 pixels. Let's make all the numbers precisely correct for what they need to be. So 125 and then 150 pixels, 160, 55. There's 155, and that aligns a lot better. Let's try these just by adding. What are we adding? 30 to each one. 185 pixels, or is it 186? Nope, that's 185. That's great. We add 30, 215 pixels. And don't forget the color stop. Great. And then this last one is 245 pixels. Let's submit that. I think that the rotated element is not totally correct. Yeah, it's not totally correct, which is a problem. That's a problem. I'm going to put these margins on the element itself. We're going to clobber display flex, and then we need to do some margins here to get him aligned right. 7, 8, 75. Okay. And then how about 100, 110, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks very similar. That diff is still got some problems with it, but it might be correct. 99.9%. So what's the problem? A little bit of both. How about 0.5 and 0.5? How about 74.5 and 116.5? Is that better? Not really. On the tricky side, is it possible the height and width are not the same? It could be. Is it too high? In which case, this number needs to be higher. Is the border not right? 29.5. See all these little variables that are highly frustrating. Highly frustrating. And that's even worse. All right, so do I have a 100% solution on this one? I do. Do I want to load it? Yeah, let's load my best old solution. So this is a multiple, 2 divs, a div inside a div, with an alarmingly similar body background, right? And then a clip path on the element to get it right. Not great. Not great at all. What other solutions have I done in the past? How about this one? I load this guy. So that's just the same thing. Same again. Cut down. So let's go back to what I had before, even though it's not working for us. I do think that a clip path can work. Sure. Frustrating as that is, I don't think it's great. Removing the rotate from the equation seems to be how I solved this before, so let's do it again that way. But we'll try to do a little terser. So here's what those what that looks like. So what I would like to do is to start with margin that sets that right in the middle horizontally. 0, 50, let's say, and then make the unset this width, set a height, and I go on. What might be interesting here. All right, kind of lied. let's, rather than bothering, let's use the XY technique. So we're going to make 4 elements, each one representing one quadrant of this. The second element will be flopped on the x-axis. The third will be flopped on the y-axis. The fourth will be flopped on the x and the y-axis. And it's going to have a background or a width of 300, no, a width of 200, and a height of 150. And that represents the full screen, as long as we have margin of 0 on this, the body, and a margin of 0 on this. And the background is a linear gradient that's coming in at what, minus 45 degrees. Transparent, or actually no, it's got to be this color, 10%, and then red, 0, 30%, and then transparent, like so. And then I do also need display flex, and I do also need this flex wrap of wrap, and then I also need scale of a var of dash dash x or 1, and a var dash dash y or 1. And then with an x attribute, dash dash x can be minus 1. We need to not forget our semicolons. And then our y has a variable CSS custom property of y minus 1. And that gets you that triangle. Is that great? Is it weird? Yeah, it's a little weird. All right, but is it consistent, and does it appear to be aligned and erroring in a consistent way? Yeah, and that makes it a little better. 17, 18, 19, 18.1%, 0.2%. Okay, and then 31, 29, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 30. Let's see. So let's submit that and see if that is 100% match. Is it? That is 100% match, and we're going to take it. So again, I've been saying that when you're rotating something 45 degrees, the precision of that is a lot harder to reckon with, right? Because you're dealing with, the computer is doing anti-aliasing, and so when it's choosing to about whether the pixel that your solution aligns with the pixel of what CSS Battle has decided, it's just a little trickier. It's a trickier thing for the code to navigate. It might be visually very, very similar, but not identical in the rendering engine, and that's, you know, that's how it is. And I guess this is a better score than I got in the past, so I'm happy with that. All right, what do we got next? Let's see. So that's a prior solution, but which I forgot to remove. Sorry about that. But let's create an element that's the right size. Let's put the margins on the element. 3, 4, 5, 6, sure, 7. So 1, 2, 2. That background really feels to me like the old conic gradient. Because it's in the upper corner, and it's 100% wide, and it's 50 pixels tall, something like that. So it's the light color, and then transparent, and then it's the light color again, transparent. All right. So there's your body. Oh, and I didn't make it tall enough to. So that now I need to change that background size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60 pixels. And now this is too tall. 180, something like that. I might have breezed through that one, but also kind of gradients being my special favorite. I can kind of visually identify what that is. If I put red in the background, you can see what's shining through. The background size is 100% wide of the element that it's on, and 60 pixels tall, and then it repeats. So if we then minify and unit replace, I guess some cultures say Bob's your uncle. That's not my culture, but I believe that solves the problem. And that is a higher score than I've gotten in the past, so whatever small tweaks I made. That's a fun one. I don't know, I must have done that more recently for it to be stuck there that way. That's a little bit of a surprise. I guess I did it in July and it still stayed. So that's interesting. The state sometimes is saved. I've done all these ones that I've done, that I've been doing on these videos, I have done in the past. None of these are new to me, but I'm trying to look at them with fresh eyes. I'm usually succeeding. All right, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I've done all but a year's worth, I think, at this point, going back to summer of 2023. I'm going to continue doing these videos because they're fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Make something cool with CSS. CSS is awesome, really enjoyable. Have a great day. Bye-bye.